You might have looked at the video title and thought to yourself, wow, that's hyper specific, why would you make a video like this? So I want to make clear that the actual advice on how to use seeds comes second to a wider discussion I want to have about player mentality, since especially in RPGs we are often goal oriented. We don't care how much harder the game gets, we want optimized characters at the very end and to then tell ourselves that whatever we did to get there was all worth it. Well, I'm here to tell you that it won't be. What I'm getting at is that technically the bonus you get from using a seed gets lowered by reclassing, so saving it and only using it after reclassing would give you the higher final stat, and if you're close to reclassing, you're better off saving those seeds. But what's equally true is that the biggest impact a seed will ever have is when you're at your weakest. The choice is between getting a huge bonus that gets diminished as time goes on versus getting a small bonus later on and not having any bonus for the early section. The early section where it would matter the most. Getting +3 in a stat you only have 10 in is a 30% bonus. If you have 100 in that stat, that's only a 3% bonus. I'd much rather have a 30% bonus for the first half of the game and a slightly reduced bonus for the latter half than have no bonus for the first half and a 3% bonus in the latter one. Except there's one more thing I haven't mentioned yet. One little detail. I was entirely lying right now. This advice you see handed out so often that reclassing diminishes the bonuses you get from seeds is based on the previous versions of this game. But that is not how it works in the remake. This version differentiates between stats gained from levels and stats gained through seeds, and only the stats gained through levels get halved. So here you can see a side-by-side comparison of my thief trying to reclass before and after I used a seed of strength on him, which increased the stat by 3 points. And you will notice that the strength after reclassing is not exactly half in either image, but on the right it's 3 higher than it would be in the other example. After again gaining exactly 3 points from the seed. And this isn't a thing with rounding, I made sure it works like this. People who do give out the advice that you should save your seeds until after you reclass are misguided and don't yet know how the game works. They haven't made sure. That's right, this wasn't about player mentality when it comes to using seeds. It's about player mentality when it comes to confidently answering Reddit questions that they don't yet know the answer to. So saving seeds is a bad idea, but the other aspect besides when to use seeds is who to use them on, and this is where a lot of guides make a pretty terrible point that I want to debunk. Using seeds to patch up weaknesses like your mage's low attack stat seems like a good idea. I was talking about how it's a bigger percentage increase when you're buffing a low stat. So while a 30% strength bonus on your mage might seem like it does more than a 3% strength bonus on your warrior, the point I want to make is that the warrior will use those points of strength more often. And when both the mage and the warrior attack, the overall damage will be the same. You will get the highest overall value out of giving the seed of strength to whoever does the most physical attacks, and this logic can be applied to all seeds. Give seeds of magic to whoever runs out of MP the most, seeds of defense to whoever is in the front of your party and thus takes the most hits. And this one is a bit odd, but give seeds of life to whoever gets one-shot the most to get them out of one-shot territory, but past that I recommend giving them to a frontliner. I don't think dumping all of your HP increasing seeds on a fragile party member that needs to be healed after every attack is all that great, since instead it would be a much more tangible boon if you made it so your frontliner only needs to be healed after 5 instead of 4 attacks. So to sum everything up, don't hoard your seeds, especially not the ones that come as a pre-order bonus, and don't use them to prepare for a theoretical worst case scenario where your mage might need to attack physically. Instead, you should make your A game even better, so the push never comes to shove, meaning you increase your mage's MP and your warrior's strength. But ultimately, what's more important than both when and how to use seeds is that process's lack of importance. Seeds are such a small part of the game. Try to not get OCD over using them optimally, because they really are just a tiny part, and if you were to play without them, you would barely notice. Your level will always far outweigh any micro optimizations like seeds or personalities.